Thanks very much.
Next up, a professor and a practitioner, an academic, and a friend, Judy Franks, who had a great author relationship with Don. Judy, are you there? Who are you? Where are you? And what's your Don story?
I am. So, hi everyone. I'm Judy Franks, and it's good to see some friendly faces. I joined Northwestern in 2008 following a long agency career. I had started my career at Leo Burnett, and my true love has always been school, and I had the opportunity to go back to school, so here I am. I need to start off by first apologizing to Jim Carey, because when he got a hold of me to let me know that Don had passed, I called him back and was sobbing like a baby. And we knew this was coming, but times were tough, and I have to admit, I thought it was kind of unfair that we lost the giant who looked out for all of us when the world was crashing around us. That was a tough one. So Jim, thank you for dealing with my blubbering. And Heidi, thank you for welcoming me into your home before the lockdown hit. You have no idea what it means to me that I got to visit with Don. As Jim had mentioned, I joined the faculty coming from a 23-year agency career, and I wanted to write. I wanted to get a book out there about what the media world was really like, from what I saw as a practitioner in the agency world and where I thought it could go. And Don took me under my wing, and my little book that could, Media from Chaos to Clarity, is now on the 2nd edition. And it is so meaningful to me that Don wrote the forewords to both editions of the book. And when I was getting ready to write the 2nd edition, I met with Don and I said, it's time. The book was first published in 2011, and obviously everyone on this Zoom meeting knows that the media world had radically changed. This was back in 2018. I said, it's time for me to write another edition. What do you think? And he looked at me and he said, are you willing to throw the first edition away and start from scratch? And I looked at him and I said, yeah, I think I am. And he challenged me to start from scratch and don't hang on to the past and see where I would land. And he talked about that in the foreword. And it was incredibly meaningful to me because you know what, you guys? He would do that to his own work. People didn't even understand what he was talking about, and he would go and blow it up and be on to the next thing because he felt it was important to constantly be putting new thinking out there. I have the last email from Don. I save all my emails from Don. This one's dated March 20th, and I'm working on another piece of research with Vijay Viswanathan, and it looks like it's finally going to go out the door next week. But I was struggling with how to articulate the idea in a way that would really resonate. And so thanks to Don, I had the courage to throw my draft away and start over again. And I want to share with you what Don wrote to me. He wrote, hi, Judy. All authors fall in love with their work. It takes a dedicated person to recognize an ugly baby when they develop one. I admire the new approach you and Vijay are considering and believe it gets much closer to what you are trying to accomplish. Even with this acknowledgement of the previous challenges, I have trouble with the revision. And that was okay, because I knew that that was the inspiration that I needed to go back and get it right. Don never stopped trying to go back and get it right. And I think one of the greatest honors to his memory that we can all do, and one of my fondest memories of Don and his sidekick Martin would wreak havoc in IMC faculty meetings. And I was this new kid coming to faculty meetings, and regardless of who was leading the department at the time, whether it was Tom Collins or Frank Mulhern or Vijay, they would throw bombs into the meeting and just watch things blow up and snigger. And when I first came to these faculty meetings, I was kind of shocked because it didn't have the decorum that I was used to from a client meeting in the agency world where, God forbid, the last thing you're ever going to do is blow up something that management is saying, right? And they would just lob stuff out there all the time. And once I got used to it, I realized that he was doing it to provoke us and make us better. And one of the challenges that I have for all of us as we have to move on, living up to Don's memory, is we owe it to him and we owe it to ourselves to keep that spunk alive in the IMC department at Medill, and to be willing to constantly blow up our ideas in those faculty meetings so that we can get to that better place in his memory. So thank you, Don. I will be forever in debt. Heidi, to our continued friendship. And Jim, thank you for allowing me to bawl my eyes out on the phone with you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Judy. You're just wonderful. In fact, if I can share it, Judy, in the conversation that we had the morning after Don died, Judy remarked that Don would always throw rocks at his own work, and I cleverly responded, I thought that was my job. But one of the things, and also just building on what you just referenced, there are two things that made you decide whether or not to go to a faculty meeting. One was the quality of the food, and the second was how easy it was to throw. So, of course, I'm no longer invited to faculty meetings, and everybody is happier.